Hey everybody, it's Cynthia with another Plan With Me TV video. And today's topic, as you can see, is The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Now, I'm trying a little bit different setup today, so we'll see how we like this one. This is what happens when you're new at it. I've got a new space and some different lighting. It's a little darker probably than I did before, but hey, let's see if it works. And I know it's kind of a close-up angle, but I wanted you to be able to see the stickers and things. So, like I said, we will, as Tim Gunn says, make it work. So today we're talking about Man from U.N.C.L.E. in honor of the movie that came out this week. I didn't get to see it yet. I wish I had, but it doesn't matter because we are actually going to talk about the original TV series that ran from 1964 to 1968. The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Let's get started planning and talking. I'm still getting the hang of this planning and talking thing, so I'm also getting the hang of peeling these stickers, which isn't always that easy. I thought we would put today's sticker down here where traditionally people put washi tape, but we'll put that for now. And actually I might leave those on for the moment. So Man from U.N.C.L.E., as I said, ran in the 1960s. It was a slightly campy, maybe more than slightly campy TV series about two spies, and the show got a little bit more campy as it went on. It starred Robert Vaughn as Napoleon Solo. He was the James Bond of television, very witty and laid back, charismatic Napoleon Solo. I knew I should have started these stickers before I started the video because look at the trouble I'm having. His partner was a Russian, not played by a Russian, named Ilya Kuryakin, who you also know as David McCallum. This is getting quite frustrating, isn't it? Oh, there we go. Oh, I had it and I lost it. Okay. For future video, start all stickers ahead of time. This is actually, this is the Ilya badge. On the TV series, the badges were just plain yellow with just a number, very basic. And later they made toys of the badges and all kinds of collectibles, so they added the U.N.C.L.E. logo to it. But number 2 was Ilya, and we will put that right up here on our Monday. While we're over here, I'm going to put some washi tape at the top while we talk. So, Man from U.N.C.L.E., it was kind of known for a couple of things. As I said, it definitely had a sense of humor about it, which was nice. I'm going to put some polka dot washi tape up here. I'm going to cut both ends. And it had some interesting little quirks, which I think is the best word to use when describing U.N.C.L.E. One of them being what I would call these swish cuts. The show, when it would transition from one scene to the next, would do these fast, it's hard to explain, as if the film was rolling so quickly that you couldn't see anything but a swipe. Actually, I think it might be called a swipe transition. We use it in video making. You'll see it in your video software. And with that would always accompany this sound that was kind of like, bongo drums or something very jazzy. The show had a wonderful jazz theme song that became very, very popular. But that swish cut was one of the trademarks of the show, along with this. The show, every time, it was done up in acts. So kind of like if you watch the Quinn Martin shows, every time they would go to a commercial and come back was a new act. And the acts, so not only did each episode have a title, but each of the acts had a title. Let's see, where should we put this one? Should we put this on Friday? Up on Thursday? You know what, we'll put it here on Friday. So Open Channel D, oops, sorry, it wasn't in frame there. Open Channel D, I'm jumping all over the place. I know, I plan, believe it or not, I rehearse these videos and I plan them and then I start doing them and I'm all over the place. I planned the planner videos. So Open Channel D is a reference to the communicators that the Uncle agents would use when they needed to contact Uncle headquarters. They had these cool little pen-looking communicators that they would, sneak off somewhere where the villains couldn't hear them and whisper into them and say, Open Channel D, and that would get them a link to Uncle headquarters, and very often their boss, Alexander Waverly, who was played by wonderful character actor Leo G. Carroll. An interesting man. I don't know how old he was at the time he did the show, but he was quite up there. And I can't imagine what he really thought of this. I think he probably came to work every day going, this is the silliest thing ever, but man, they're paying me. He was super in his own crazy way. So going way back to the title cards and all. So in addition to the other things that Uncle was known for, was it was always set in a different foreign country with some evil villain trying to take over the world, or trying to kidnap a scientist who could help them take over the world, something along those lines. And because of that, it was quite known for its exotic locales, which were never exotic at all. They were actually all filmed right here in California. But they were really good at that. Oh, I never did finish telling you about the title cards. So every time they come back from commercial, there would be a title card that would show the title of the episode and, Act 1, Act 2, Act 3 kind of thing. And then each one of those acts had its own title. And when the writers were really clever, the titles went together in sort of a rhyme, or they had a consecutive kind of feeling to them, or they were puns. Uncle writers loved puns. And all Uncle episodes are called the something, something, something affair. So we're going to transition for a moment to the new on DVD affair. Every Tuesday, the new DVDs and Blu-rays come out at Amazon. Well, they come out everywhere. And this week, this is a good week for TV fans, because with the new fall season coming up very shortly, a lot of TV shows that you loved from last year that will be continuing this year are coming out. So the most recent box sets are coming out. So, for example, last season's Blacklist, NCIS, NCIS-LA, Grey's Anatomy, Mike and Molly, a bunch more shows. So the shows, last season's episodes, you'll be able to get those on their box set this Tuesday. So you'll have a chance to catch up on last season in case you missed something before you start the new season. And two other really big releases. The Newsroom is coming out on season 1 on Blu-ray. The Newsroom is a super Aaron Sorkin show about a news channel, kind of like a CNN, that has a real rise and fall, perhaps based on a story that wasn't as legitimate as they thought. Very intriguing, very much what West Wing did for politics, the Newsroom does for news, especially news on television. And it has some very topical questions, which is why I really liked it, such as things about like citizen journalism, like how responsible are newsmen who quickly rush in with journalism from, cell phone videos and things like that haven't necessarily been properly vetted. It also, one season, and I don't think it's the first season, but I could be wrong, one of the seasons has a huge storyline about about government security, the security of the people versus the news. If a news station finds out that something terrible happened in the world and our government was part of it, do they have a right and a moral obligation to or not to publish this and tell the government about it, especially if it could be a security risk for government agents, our own safety here, if it puts our government in a bad light. Very interesting topic. On the complete opposite of the Newsroom is Welcome Back, Kotter. The final season is coming out on DVD this week. Fun. I can't imagine you don't know what it is, but you might not, because I keep forgetting not everyone's a TV geek like me. Welcome Back, Kotter was John Travolta's show when he was a teenager about the sweat hogs in a rundown section of New York, these teens who would probably never make it through high school if it wasn't for their favorite teacher, Mr. Kater, played by Gabe Kaplan. Funny show, but also, again, at times, very topical about what it was like living and growing up in not such a nice neighborhood. And, maybe not having enough to eat, maybe not having, wearing shoes that don't fit anymore, and still being expected to come to school and get an education. I know that sounds a little heavier than you probably think of when you think of Welcome Back, Kotter, but it actually was a really good, solid show that had just enough message and an awful lot of humor. Let's flip back over here. Woo, make you dizzy. And last week when I did this, I got my days all mixed up. This time I'm going to get them right. So Thursday, we're going to put something special in there. Thursday, I'm going to do another video for you, and I'm going to use my little TV here to remind me. And in honor of Man from U.N.C.L.E, I am going to film my top 5 spy shows in 5 minutes. Last week I did my top 5 musical shows, and this time I'm going to do my top 5 spy shows. I did not come in under 5 minutes on the last one. I'm going to try desperately to come in under 5 on that one. And on Saturday, which we call box set night in our house, that's the night that we pull out all the old DVDs that we've forgotten we own, and I'm going to pop a TV in there for box set night. And on this box set night, we're going to pay a little ode to the Men from U.N.C.L.E. We do have Men from U.N.C.L.E. on DVD, which we'll talk about in a second, but we're also going to watch The Protectors, which was Robert Vaughn's TV series after he did Man from U.N.C.L.E. It might not have been directly after. It might have been. And if you go over to my blog, cynthiaboris.com, I'll put it in the box below, you will see, you can read my blog post about how I met Robert Vaughn when he was doing The Protectors, and also how I met David McCallum. Not wildly fantastic stories. I didn't go, run off with either one of them, but they were kind of fun stories about a starstruck girl getting to meet her idols. So, Protectors is a British TV show that Robert Vaughn went on to do. He also went on later to do the last season of the A-Team, which most people forget. He became the sort of boss by proxy, anti-boss, I don't know what you'd want to call him. For the A-Team, he was in charge of them in the last season, sent them out on a lot of missions they would rather not have gone on. A little bit different, more of a spy take on that show. And they actually did an episode with David McCallum guesting that I believe was called something like The A-Team Affair. One of those super fun crossover episodes that TV shows like to do, stunt casting, they call it. There were also a couple, I think there were 2 though, Man from U.N.C.L.E. reunion movies after the show was over when the actors were getting a little bit older. So going back to David McCallum, he went on to do The Invisible Man, which I think only lasted about a season, and then it became The Gemini Man with my other favorite, Ben Murphy. And most of you probably know David McCallum as Ducky on NCIS, which is going on its 99th Salzance season. He's been on that show from day one, and he adds a lot to the show. He's really one of my favorite characters on the show. We don't see a lot of him, I think, as much as we used to in the series, but it's always nice to see him on TV. And how great. My gosh, he's had like this crazy career going from U.N.C.L.E. in the 60s all the way through. So I'm about to run out of time on here, and I wanted to show you one last thing. I'm going to give you a hint to my plan with me for next week is a very special week. It's a pseudo holiday, we'll call it. Oh my gosh, I have so much trouble with these stickers. It's a holiday based on the birthday of a famous writer. And I'm going to be very unhappy if I rip this sticker trying to get it out of there. Well, I did a little bit, but I think we can live with them. All right, here is our plan with me theme for next week, which I'm going to record on Sunday, and you will see Sunday or Monday. Here's a really big hint to what it's going to be. Plan with Me TV 3. It's going to be all about that guy right there. But before we get to him, we're going to finish with The Man from U.N.C.L.E. If you want to see Man from U.N.C.L.E., the entire series is available through the Warner Archive. Go to the WBshop.com. I'll put a link below. You could also pick up The Girl from U.N.C.L.E., which was the spin-off with Stephanie Powers and Noel Harrison. A little sillier, but again, very 60s kind of fun show. Most might not think it's as well written. It's kind of what you're into. You want to watch the guys, you want to watch the girls. So that's it for me, for Man from U.N.C.L.E. and my plan with me for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. Watch it while I open up. Here I'm opening Channel D. And you have a really great week, and I will see you on Thursday with my top 5 spy shows in 5 minutes.